So good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. Welcome to the Krame Center for Mindful Living, and welcome to our special workshop for families. If you just registered 3 o'clock or later, please make sure you type your name into the chat. We will be having a special prize raffled off at the end. So our guest today is Nancy Seigel. And Nancy trains teachers, and she also helps children just like you to learn these special exercises that you're going to be doing today. So is everybody ready to have some fun? So please help me in welcoming Nancy. Nancy, please join us.
Thank you so much, Catherine. It's really an honor to be here. Thank you for inviting me to the Krame Center. And hi, everybody. Hello. So I can see a few of you, but I can't see everybody. So if you'd like to show us, turn on your video so we could see you, that would be great. Okay. Hello. I see some familiar faces. Hello. Hi, okay. So this is called a Hoberman sphere. So raise your hand if you've seen this before. Okay, cool, cool. So it's called a Hoberman sphere, but I like to call it a breathing ball because we're gonna do some breathing with it. So here we go. Take a big inhale through your nose. Inhale, breathe in, hold it, and breathe out. And again, do it again. And breathe out. And I'm gonna do it with you. We're gonna do it 2 more times, but you're not gonna hear my voice. I'm gonna tell you why after we do it together. Here we go. Big breath in. Excellent. Now, big secret. I'm going to tell you why you didn't hear my voice. It's not because I muted my Zoom here. It's because, check this out. I get very excited when I share this. You cannot talk on an inhale. Try that. Try to say your name as you take a big breath in. You can't. Right? You can't talk on an inhale. So when I was doing the breathing with you, you didn't hear me because I was doing it. So any teachers on board listening to this, right? As a dear friend of mine, Maura Gu'ula, says you never need a Lysol can anymore. You never need to say shh, shh. All you have to do is take a breath and it gets quiet. So for the children listening, who just had this experience, just think about that. If you need some quiet in your life, it's great if you have a breathing ball, but if you don't, all you have to do is take a breath and it gets very quiet. Okay. So speaking of quiet, we're going to do another exercise and it's called layers of sound. So if you're standing, you might want to sit down, but you don't have to. You could stay standing if you'd like. And this is what we're going to do. So I see some new friends sitting down, but now I can't see you. So, okay, that's cool. All right, that's good. You could sit down. It's better to do this seated. So put your feet on the floor. And try to sit up as tall as you can. And now invite your eyes to close. So, hi, Louis. So if your eyes aren't closing right away, just give them another invitation till they close. And if that's not quite working for you, just keep sending an invitation to your eyes to close. And now have a listen to the sounds that you hear around you. And now listen to the sounds you hear outside of the room that you're in. And now stretch your hearing as far as it can go. And now keeping your eyes closed, pay attention to the sounds that you hear outside of the room that you're in. Now bring your awareness back into the room, and this time listen to the sounds around you and maybe even the sounds inside of you. And when you're ready, open your eyes and look at everybody that you can see in the screen and wave. Hello, everybody. We had some newcomers join as we were doing our layers of sound. So since we're a small group, if the grown-ups would like to type into the chat, you could type in either something that you heard or something that your child heard that you'd like to share with us, and then we can look at those if you'd like. Or if anybody at any time in our time together now would like to share how you're feeling, maybe one word, maybe how you were feeling before we started our time together, and maybe one word about how you're feeling now, and if anything changed. Okay. All right, we are going to do another exercise. Let me just get my little friend here. So this is my little lion friend. I don't know if you could see him. So there you could see him, right? So raise your hand if you ever feel like there's a lion inside of you that needs to roar. Yeah, raise both hands if you really feel like, yes. So the funny thing is we do have like a lion inside of us that needs to roar. And sometimes we need to get that out of ourselves. So I'm going to put my friend down, and we are going to do lion's breath. This comes from yoga. So tall, open your lion claws like this. Take a big breath in as you pull them back, and let's roar! I never did this when I didn't hear the roars. So it's very cool. Again, sitting up very tall, like you feel like you have a string pulling you up. Open your lion claws up and pull your lion claws back as you take a big breath in and roar. Now, this time, do it as quietly as you can. We're going to roar as quietly as we can. Open your lion claws. Big breath in through your nose and one more time, just like that, as quietly as you can. Open your lion claws, pull your lion claws back, big breath in through your nose and great. So the thing is, these are our eyes. And this is our head, like this. This is our eyes and this is our head. Wait, let me get my lion. So inside of us, we have all those really big feelings and those big emotions that make us want to roar. And sometimes they just get so big, all those feelings get so big and so big and so big and so big that they just have to come out, and we flip our lids and the lion roars. But when we do the things that we're doing together, these exercises, we can stop that from happening, or when it happens, we can get calm again. So if anybody wants to write in the chat, if you're feeling any calmer, or if you feel any, like I said before, if you have any feelings that you want to share with us, feel free to, for the grown-ups, let's have the grown-ups put them in the chat. Okay. So bring your middle fingers to touch like this. And I'm just going to stand up. You don't have to stand up, but you can if you want. And we're going to put them on our bellies like this. Your middle fingers to touch. And we're going to take a big breath in. And when you do that, your fingers separate, and a big breath out. So I'm going to sit down. So you keep your hands there as you do it. So big breath into your hands and out. And again, do a few more of those at your own pace, trying to allow your breath to push your fingers away. Okay, so that is called belly breathing. And you can do that anytime you need to. You could just put your hands in your belly to remember to breathe very deeply. But you know, since you kids are older, I can talk to you, I can explain it to you. You know you're really not breathing into your belly, or you're not breathing into your hands. That doesn't happen. But where we are breathing into is what we call the lungs. Raise your hand if you know about the lungs. Okay, cool. So on our sides here, we have these bony things. They're called ribs. Raise your hand if you know about your ribs. Cool. Okay. So we're going to put our hands on our ribs like this, and our lungs are behind our ribs. So when we take a breath, our lungs push our ribs. So see if you can take a breath in and make your hands go that way. Big breath in and out. And do a few more of those balloon breaths. Okay, cool. Great. So I see a few people have said we're feeling calmer. Somebody said my shoulders definitely feel softer and less scrunched. And after relaxed. Great. So raise your hand if you've ever felt stressed. Everybody, right? So we're going to, our next exercise is one of the ones that I find to be really funny, but it really does work. So I'm going to push my hair back. So we're going to take a big breath in, lift your shoulders and think, I am stressed. And when you drop your shoulders, think, and that's okay. So big breath in, I am stressed, and that's okay. Go ahead, do a few more of those for you, just for you. Very cool. So, right, we get stressed. It's just what happens. So if we can feel like we have ways that we can help ourselves, the stress doesn't feel so big. Raise your hand if you know what I'm talking about. Great, great. Okay. I have my list of exercises I'm doing here, and I'm keeping notes of the ones that we are actually doing. So we are going to do another listening game. Wait, I'm sorry, before we do that one. So if you are standing, that's perfectly fine. If you're seated, that's perfectly fine. So wherever you are, this one is very easy. We're just gonna feel our feet on the floor. Just feel your feet on the floor. So maybe give your toes a little wiggle. Feel them inside your shoes or your sandals, or maybe you're barefoot. And just push down with your feet, feel your feet on the floor. That's it. Feet on the floor. And you can do that anytime, anywhere. So what I'm trying to offer you is trying to give you different kinds of exercises to do to help when, not if, when you start to have big feelings and you want to try to help yourself calm down. So feet on the floor is a great exercise to do anytime, anywhere, whether you're standing or sitting. Okay. Anybody else have any other comments about how they're feeling? Okay, I'll keep watching the chat box. Okay. So these are called ting shas. Everybody say that. I can't hear you, but you say it, ting shas. And they come from a country called Tibet. You say that, Tibet. And I'm gonna ring them for you. Then we're gonna play a listening game. Okay. So the way this game is going to go is soon, not yet, soon I'm going to invite you to close your eyes. Not yet. And then I'll ring the ting shas. When you don't hear them anymore, then you open your eyes. Okay? All right, I'll say that one more time. Soon, not yet, I'm going to invite you to close your eyes. Then I'll ring the ting shas. When you don't hear them anymore, then open your eyes. Okay, now it's time. Invite your eyes to close. I'm going to ring the ting shas. When you don't hear them anymore, open your eyes. Okay, great. Okay. The next exercise we're going to do involves your hand. So find one of your hands. Doesn't matter which one. And we are going to do 5-finger breathing. Yeah, so let's do what Lewis is doing. Let's just do this a little bit. Roll your wrists. That looked good, Lewis. Okay. Now, start here, and we're going to take a big breath in through your nose and breathe out. And inhale and exhale. And inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And one more time. Inhale and exhale. Great. Okay, so it looks like somebody did, no, nobody's, okay, I'm just checking the chat. So would anybody like to unmute themselves and share something about our time together? Anybody? Can they do it themselves? Okay. Anybody?
It made us all feel really relaxed.
That's great.
That's great.
What's your name?
Landon.
Hi, Lynn.
Hi.
Great. Thanks for sharing that.
Thanks.
Okay. Great. He remembers to mute. Okay. Anybody else want to share anything? about how you're feeling or about anything that we've done so far?
Yeah. Emmy.
I feel more relaxed.
That's wonderful. I'm so happy to hear that. You want to tell everyone your name?
Emmy.
Emmy. Okay.
Okay, let's unmute.
Mommy.
Sorry.
Okay. Anybody else want to share how you're feeling? Okay. Anybody have any questions about anything that we've done today? All right. So what we've been doing is called mindfulness. And there are all kinds of definitions for mindfulness, but my favorite one is from my friend Daniel, and he calls it playing attention. So we can play attention anytime that we need to. We can play attention when we need to roar. We can play attention when we're happy. We can play attention when we're scared, when we're disappointed, anytime. And you know what? Big secret. You can be feeling two of those things at the same time. Have a think about that. That sometimes you can be scared about something and you can still have a good time. Isn't that something? Raise your hand if you know what I'm talking about, if that ever happened to you. Okay, great. All right, so we are going to put our hands on our hearts. So just put your hand on your heart till you feel it beating. Sometimes you have to move it around to find it. And once you find it, if you want, you can close your eyes and just feel and listen in and notice. With gratitude to know that our heart is beating. So sometimes when we get scared or we have big feelings, it feels really good just to put your hand right there and to feel your heart beating. Right? I like to call that heart breathing, even though you know we don't breathe into our heart, right? But I still like to call it that. All right, so now see if you can make a heart with your fingers like this. And if you're in the room with somebody else, if you're not, that's cool also. But if you're in the room with somebody else, open up your heart and connect it to somebody beside you, somebody else's heart, and make a heart. Look at that. How cool is that? That's amazing. It's amazing. Great. Good. Oh, so I see Louis said that he's feeling loose. Very cool. So again, since we're a nice small group, I'm going to share something that's very special to me. Somebody very dear got this for me or told me that I should get it. It's a flip pillow. So if we were together, we could all be flipping it together. So this heart reminds me of the feeling that I have when I put my hands on my heart. So I'm going to ask you before our time is over to have a think with your thoughts, not your words. Just have a think with your thoughts, not your words, about everything that we did together, all the mindfulness exercises we did together. And if you'd like, if a grown-up can help, put in the chat either one thing that you liked, one of the exercises that you liked, or one feeling that you had from our time together. And remember to do it to everyone so we can all see it, please. Lion's roar. Okay, that's from Lewis. Tracing the finger breathing. The roar exercise. Great, great. I love listening to the ting shas. Great. The roar exercise helped me feel calm. Great. Good. Okay, would anybody else, I'm going to put this pillow down now. Would anybody else like to say anything before our time is over? If you do, you can feel free to unmute yourself. If you want to share anything about our time together, or maybe think about how you might use these exercises after our time is over. When might you use this? Thank you, so helpful. Thank you, Gaula. Anybody want to unmute and say anything before our time is over?
I just want to thank you for a great session. That was wonderful.
Thank you, Louis. It was nice to be mindful again with you. Looks like we might have some typing going on. Or trying to figure out how to unmute. It was so fun. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, Emmy.
I feel happy.
Say that again.
I feel happy.
You feel happy. Thanks for sharing that, Emmy.
You're
Do
welcome.
you want to say anything more about that? Or no.
Why do you feel happy?
I feel happy because it was really fun and I enjoyed it.
So happy to hear that. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else? All right, so I want to thank you all. I really loved being mindful with everyone, and I hope you learned some new things that you can add to the ways that you already help yourselves, and that when, not if, when you start to feel stressed, and it's okay, that you have some new ways to help yourself. And I also want to thank Catherine again, and to Sarah and Vanessa for coordinating all of this, and to the Krame Center for all the wonderful work you do. It's been an honor and a privilege to have this time with all of you. So thank you, everybody.
Oh, well, thank you, Nancy. And before everybody leaves, make sure you stay on just for another minute, because we have a raffle for a prize. And I think that we have someone special here waiting to do the raffle. If you want to unmute yourself, Scarlett and Vanessa.
Hello, everyone. Hi. Hey, guys. Yep. All right. So this is a prize to win. Nancy, you started our session today with the breathing ball. So the lucky winner will receive one of these.
Woohoo!
Okay, picked one. And the winner is Goldie. Is Goldie on here? I think Goldie just left, right? Okay, so we're gonna go for number 2. You got to be in it to win it.
There you go.
Okay, the second winner, Jula Zamis.
Congratulations, Jula. So what we'll do is we'll send you an email just to confirm we have your correct information, and then
Thank you.
it'll come straight to you.
Thank you. What a perfect gift.
Yes, and Gula is an early childhood director and a master teacher. So a lot of people are going to be benefiting from it.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes, a well-deserved recipient.
Wonderful.
Thank you all very much.
Yes, thank you all for joining us. Thank you, Nancy. It was such a pleasure to have you. What amazing tools for children. And as we saw by everybody's reaction, it was very well received, and the intended effect was certainly there, with a lot of happiness and calmer feelings. So thank you. And thank you everyone for joining us.
Thank you, everybody.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.